it's been a couple of years now. So I don't think that's a possibility. And I'm kind of with you, at this point. Although, if you knew Zetterberg wasn't going to play and then maybe his career was done and then that frees up money down the road to the tune of $6 million over the next couple of years because that's what he's owed for this year and I think the following 2 years, you might think about it.
Well, here's the thing. I'd be more likely to want that money in other years. In other years, I'd rather have that money. This is not a good year for them to take a lot of money into free agency. I mean, every year, I suppose, is a good year to have a lot, but this doesn't look like the kind of market where you can cash in on somebody who's expected to be around for 5-6 years, other than Tavares. I mean, I don't want Thomas Vanek at 34 or Joe Thornton at 38.
No.
248-539-9797. Let's get back to your open line calls. Tony is up next. Hi, Tony.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
I think it's a good thing that he doesn't come back for a lot of different reasons. I value his leadership for sure, but it's about production at the same time. And you know what? If it frees up a little bit more ice time for some of the younger players, it just seems to me, guys, that we tend to hang on to our stars too long. Victor Martinez, no production. Henrik Zetterberg, very little production. And if you take a look at the example that I came up with is, Henrik's been on the ice a lot of times for 3-on-3. I don't think the coaching staff is necessarily wanting him on the ice. I think Henrik Zetterberg is dictating that he's on the ice in those situations. So I don't think it's about the money in the.
What do you mean dictating?
I think he just says that, hey, I'm going on the ice on 3-on-3. I mean, I've watched the.
You think he does that?
I think he does. I think I think he says, I'm going to jump on the ice 3-on-3, and I'm going to be there, and I just don't think he has the speed for one thing.
I don't think that's how it works.
Players don't just fly over the boards when they want.
No, they don't fly over the boards. I grant you that. But I think there's just a perception out there that, he's the captain. It's 3-on-3. I'm going to go on the ice. I think the coaching staff puts him out there.
Yeah, I think
put him out there for a reason. He's one of their best players.
What this coaching staff absolutely does is try and make the young guys earn their ice time. And basically it's, I'm not going to reward you for not back checking, for not going into the corners. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to play. And if you want to play, you got to play the game the way we want you to play. And if we start rewarding you with ice time and you're not doing all the things that are on our checklist that you need to do, you're not going to play. And they're trying to set the tone early in the career of an Athanasiou, Amantha, Larkin. And I'm sure it'll follow through with Rasmussen and Zadina.
I guess so. I agree there, Doug. But the point is, a lot of times, Henrik Zetterberg just doesn't have the speed and to do those things right now. And sometimes it's about winning, too. And you got to put some of your guys on the ice to learn from those things. Lots of times he was on the ice on 3-on-3 this year and got scored on.
I got to tell you here, there were 4 players on the Red Wings last season, 4 regular players, regular starters, that had a plus-minus that was in the plus department. Zetterberg was one of them. I mean, it wasn't great at +1. Franz Nielsen was +1. Darren Helm was +3. And Danny DeKeyser was +2. Every other Red Wing was a minus. Now, the plus-minus statistic is one you can kind of take or leave. But during the course of a season with a team that, like the Red Wings, I think you can glean something from that. Henrik Zetterberg is one of their better players.
Well,
I mean, 56 points in 82 games last year. He's no longer this 30-goal scorer, obviously, but he's a playmaker and he's a responsible player. That's why he's put in these situations. He led the team in power play assists last year.
In
fact, he led the team in power play points last year.
I think that call, and I'm looking for some 3-on-3 stats here.
Well, it's what 3-on-3 is overtime.
Right, but I'm looking for
effectively.
Yeah, I'm looking for some overtime stats because I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things that falls into the category in games he watched.
Right, but 3-on-3, you give him a goal in 3-on-3, it's a minus. I guess that's my point of bringing up the plus-minus statistic with him, and he's one of the few plus players on the team.
Yep. Okay, I said we get to the goalie news. The 3 goalies, according to the story on The Athletic, that they were eyeing. Carter Hutton is one who was great last year for the Blues, had a career-high .931 save percentage, which was actually the best save percentage in the NHL, but he's never been a number 1, and he's 32 years old.
Played in 32 games last year.
Jonathan Bernier, who's got pretty much the same goals against as Jimmy Howard and a slightly better save percentage. And the one that's interesting is Robin Leonard, who was in Buffalo, and I think he's a high risk, high reward kind of guy. He's coming off a bad year. This is the goalie that will fight. This is the goalie that has a temper. This is the goalie whose personality is part of his story. And he had a worse year last year than Jimmy Howard. But there was a time he was in the top 10 in the league in save percentage, and he's only 26. And, if you remember this guy or you've never seen this guy.
There's a video on our website.
Yeah, he will fight you as a goalie. And I think that would make him a fan favorite in Detroit. But that doesn't mean he'd be a great signing. I say high risk, high reward. Robin Leonard visiting Detroit, the goalie who was last year Buffalo, and he's been at Ottawa. And why do I think he's been somewhere
Just Buffalo and Ottawa.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's big fella, 6'4" and 245. He's Swedish.
Have you looked at the video?
I haven't looked at the video yet. This is. I'd be more interested in Carter Hutton, to be honest with you.
But here's the thing about Hutton. Hutton's a career backup who had a great year last year,
and he's older,
and he's 32.
Yeah,
and. The Red Wings obviously have Jimmy Howard, and that's it. And then
well, here's my thinking. They're not finding their long-term solution at goaltender right now.
No, but if they were looking for one, I wouldn't be interested in Carter Hutton.
Just because of the age?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be around long term. But I'm not going to fight you if you want him.
Leonard's played more games, but he's played more games in the last 2 years. This is when he's gotten his opportunity in his goals against at 268 and 301, given it's for a Buffalo team. Buffalo's nothing special.
Watching Leonard from afar, I get the sense that he might be his own worst enemy. Like his personality and his propensity to fight makes him not a better goalie.
I mean, we've seen goalies who do this before. Ray Emery comes to mind. Ron Hextall was a feisty goalie back in the 80s. I don't know if I want my goaltender to be willing to drop the gloves.
Well,
I don't think that's a plus.
I think I'm going to say this with all due respect, and this doesn't sound like it. I think Hockey Neanderthal wants his goalie that'll fight. I think the hardcore hockey fan, the beer swiller who's there for the fun of it, absolutely wants his goalie to fight.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at it as a short-term situation here. Someone that can split time with Jimmy Howard for this upcoming season. Maybe you sign him to a 2-year contract, and he's here next year as well. And you look at you're trying to develop another goaltender at that point, and maybe there's better free agent goaltenders on the market next offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that either goaltender is going to cost you a whole lot to give him a chance, particularly if you're looking at Carter Hutton at 32. I can't imagine he's going to get a giant contract from anybody, but he is coming off a really nice season where he played in the 32 games. But as you mentioned, a .931 save percentage and a .209 goals against average, both of which led the league, even though he only played less than half the season. I give him a shot. I like that. For the Red Wings situation, I think that works.
Should we talk about the pictures of Jimmy Howard that were floating around the internet?
What do you mean?
There was he was playing in a celebrity softball game and looked like he maybe, I want to be fair here, might have let himself go a little bit this summer. Did you see those?
No.
Kang, did you see those?
Yeah, I saw him.
Am I being fair here?
Maybe he's trying a new strategy that everyone wants, to grab a sumo guy and put him in net.
Come on.
I'm serious.
Is it this bad?
Maybe not that bad, but he doesn't look in peak physical condition right now.
I'm just saying. Let me see.
Saying he fills out the hockey sweater without the pads.
When did you see these pictures?
It was a few days ago, wasn't it? Although, but Jimmy Howard
was this like promoting Joe Koser's softball game or something?
When he was here at the station, he was here a while ago. We saw him walking around outside, and he didn't look that way. Maybe it's just a bad picture. I don't know.
Maybe it's just a bad picture.
Yeah.
You know, they say the camera adds like 5 pounds. And there are like 10 cameras on it.
Have you seen the pictures, Gator?
I have not. I was looking for them. I don't know what you're talking about.
See if we can find them here.
We'll get Evan to put it on the website.
248-539-9797. All right, got a Lions thing we're going to throw your way a little bit later on. Also, do you have more of these than this? An MLB pitcher. We'll tell you what that is. It's Karsch and Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.